Welcome back to another edition of That Fuzzin' Rock Show interviews. If you guys dig what you see, make sure you click like on the video. Follow us over on Facebook at facebook.com/That Fuzzin' Rock Show. Over on the YouTube side, it's youtube.com/That Fuzzin' Rock Show. Subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell. Let you know when we go on the air every time we go live. And definitely share with your friends. Now, check out this next interview. Guys, I got a good one for you today. We are here with Zosia, and I hope I said that right, Zosia and Berg from Reigh of Z. We'll bring them in now. What's up? Did I say your name right?
Yes,
Zosia.
Zosia. Damn,
Yeah.
I was close, though.
You were so good.
I almost had it.
You did a great
Almost
job.
had
Or
it.
you could just call me Z. Whatever feels good for you.
Z works for me. That's way easier. Thank you. So,
I love easy.
guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. I don't want to waste any of your time. We'll get right into what we're going to talk about. Reigh of Z has a new track that's releasing September 16th. It's called Cellophane, and they're hit the road September 21st for a 23-date tour with Modern Mimes. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk about all that stuff in just a bit. Let's start talking first about the band. When did Reigh of Z first get together, and how did that happen? How did you guys form the band?
Berg, go.
Oh, okay. It was like,
Nobody hears you talk.
well, what? It was 2017. We got together, and Zoe was getting ready to. She was getting ready to head out of town, go back to LA, and told a friend of ours, our original drummer, that she wanted to start a band. So our original drummer basically. Sorry, my bulldog is stuck in hump mode. I apologize.
Beanie.
Yeah, I apologize. But so she recruited me, didn't really give me an option, said you're playing bass for me. And then, we had some other members over time, members left. But basically, Reigh of Z's been going since 2017, and we haven't stopped since.
Now, going back a little bit further, I'll ask you guys individually. Z, I'll start with you. How did you first get started into music? What got you going? Like, what got you into music?
In general, or this particular genre?
In general, just like for your start, what got you interested in being a musician?
I kind of started in utero, to be completely honest. Like, I was enrolled in dance and theater and vocal classes since I was about 3 years old. So it's kind of one of those things that I've been doing my whole life. So I was kind of like, well, this is kind of what I know how to do. So I'm just going to keep running with it and see if anything eventually sticks.
I dig it. That's groovy. What about you, Berg?
Honestly, it was my parents' record collection, man. Just sit down, flop a side on, and just sit down and listen. Just stuff you bond with your dad. Just listening to old like Eric Clapton, things like that. Stuff he was into, and then it just grew from there.
Let's talk about influences, Berg. While I got you on that subject, let's talk about like what were some of your earlier influences, and do you have influences now that kind of affects your sound? Let's start with early.
Early, I'd have to say, you go back to obviously Black Sabbath, Geezer Butler, one of the best hands down fingers players. Moving into like, throughout time, obviously I'm going to say this and I have to reference the band because what really got me into playing heavy music was ISIS.
Ooh,
the band, that Mosquito Control EP was definitely one that I literally burned like 3 times and wore it out, every single time. Current day stuff. During the pandemic, I really dived into Victor Wooten and his playing styles, trying to adapt the thumb technique. Just because if you're not learning, you're not growing. So always try to adapt different styles and just have fun with it.
True story. See, what about you? What about some of your early influences?
I would honestly say, like, I was very heavily influenced by musical theater. Don't laugh. Musical. I'm telling him, not you.
Oh, all right.
Peter Major.
Musical. I really loved. My mom played a lot growing up. Genesis, uh, believe it or not, TLC, Boys to Men, a lot of soul and blues, and then eventually I moved into like Sabbath. Um, moving into like Slipknot, uh, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, things of that nature. So there was always music going, and believe it or not, like a lot of classical, like Beethoven, Mozart, and a lot of people don't realize like a lot of that music is very similar to metal as far as
Sure.
like the chaos and the
Hmm.
progressions and stuff like that. So I was more like actual classical music.
Yeah, if you ever look at some of that sheet music, it's all over the place. It's like,
Mhm.
the hell is that? It's kind of crazy. What about now? Do you have anything now that's kind of tickling your fancy, quote unquote, as far as newer influences go?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Evanescence. I'm a big fan of In This Moment. Every time they come to town, I drag Berg to the show. Like, we're going. I love A Day to Remember, I Prevail. And I'm trying to think who like I've been listening. I love the new Saliva track, Crows. I've been listening to that like on repeat. I really think that they've really rebranded themselves and came out of the woodwork like killing it.
Now, did you always know, Z, that you were going to be a musician, or was it like, what would you have been if you weren't, if you didn't take the path of musician?
Not broke. I would probably honestly probably be in the medical field. When I was younger, my mom always said that I was vacillating between being a singer and a cardiologist. So, so as you can tell, I took the road less less traveled, but I would probably be something in the medical field for sure.
Singer and a cardiologist, both jobs take heart, but I'm bummed. Sorry, had to do
I
it.
love that. No, that's good.
That's good. What about you, Berg? Did you know that you were going to take the music path, or were you destined to be something different?
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, whenever, in my late teens, early 20s, like I was playing grindcore, traveling a lot. Kind of got bit by the road bug, and it's something that I never gave up. Thing is, man, like my family runs a chocolate factory, and I basically live above it. And it's been in my family for 104 years. So, I mean, eventually, once I'm done with music, that's probably where I'm going to go. Is just do that full time and just be a chocolate. I guess that's a chocolatier.
You have me a chocolate pro for sure.
Yeah, I like being a rock and roll Wonka. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man! There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the band. You guys are from Pennsylvania, right across the border from me here in New York. Um, what's the music scene like in Pennsylvania?
Berg, I'll
Is
let
it
you take that one.
I mean, it's Pittsburgh is, you got your run throughs, people coming through all the time. Locally, I mean, you have your bands. Other than that, I mean, it's sad because like a lot of places, I mean, locally there's not after the pandemic, there's really not a lot of places to play.
Yeah, the pandemic seemed to hit everybody, especially the music scene, music and entertainment scene pretty hard as far as closing venues. We had a couple pretty good ones up here that closed. And actually one that opened, which is a bigger venue, which I don't know how the hell they did it, but they worked on it through the pandemic, and as soon as everything opened, they were there. They were open, and it's a success story for them. But yeah, seems like the pandemic did. So now musically, is it dominated by like, is your scene dominated by like metal, or is it like a more of a rock thing?
I mean, I would say it's pretty equal. I mean, hip hop in Pittsburgh really has been dominating a lot. As for metal shows, I mean, of course, you're going to have your metal shows. They're always going to pop up, but
Sure.
primarily, I'd have to say Pittsburgh's more of a hip hop town than it is a metal and rock town.
Hmm.
But I mean, obviously, there's your mainstays in Pittsburgh, like the Clarks and like Gene the Werewolf and stuff like that. But you know, you kind of just go from there. But I mean, technically, Code Orange is from Pittsburgh.
True story. So, checking out your stuff on Bandcamp, you guys in 2018 you released a single called "Pray for Her."
Mm-hmm.
In 2018 was also "Whispers in the Walls."
Mm-hmm.
Reflections in 19 with Mirrors and Memoirs. The EP was both in 2019. Tell us a little bit about the EP, the Mirrors and Memoirs that came out, like I said, 2019. 4-song EP. Got some pretty good stuff on there. Like, tell me about some of the songs that are on there.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Yeah. I just heard Lola go. Um, so basically, with the EP, I wanted to kind of do something autobiographical. So each song was a chapter in my life that I actually wrote at that time in my life. Like Innocence, I wrote when I was, I think, I want to say like around like 8 to 10 years old. But obviously, it was a lot more refined when I got into the studio with Steve Sobchak, like, because obviously when you write as an 8-year-old versus being in your 30s, it's vastly different. So
Sure.
I wrote about different chapters in my life, and the band was very supportive of that, because I think, Fuzz, you could probably resonate with this. Our genre, rock and metal, it's so different now. You have those bands where producers just write the songs and the band just performs them, and then there's people who sit down and write with a producer. Like, I have to be able to connect with the text. I guess that's like my artsy thing.
Sure.
Otherwise I can't perform with it. So, and I wanted to do something very raw, real, and authentic, because I get kind of frustrated with sometimes how vapid music can be. And I think that may be why people are drawn to us, but maybe also why people pull away from us too, because it's some heavy stuff that I write about. But it was definitely different chapters in my life that I wanted to bring to light at different ages as well. So
So for some people it's relatable, some it's too relatable.
Mhm.
I got you. No, that's I mean, yeah, no, I agree 100%. That's definitely no. So this one I have to ask: how did you
Sure.
guys come up with the name
Yeah.
Reigh of Z?
Buzz, would you like to meet Reigh of Z's mascot?
Oh, cameo, nice, very nice.
Go ahead, Berg. You can tell that story.
Oh, this story. So back whenever we first started the band, Zoe had some friends that were out in LA saying, "Hey, you should really focus the band around you, name it after you." And she was like, I really don't want to name it after me." So, after deliberations and this and that, and people saying you should name it after the dog, and I'm like, man, maybe, but people kept coming back and forth, and I was just busy working down in the chocolate store, and somebody's like, so I was like, you know what? Let's call it Reigh of Z. And you could take that as many things. You could take it as our journey to reign over the lands, or you could just take it as Reigh of Z, of which what? Well, didn't the hotel bellhop say it was? What did he say it was the other day?
Oh, this was the first time I ever encountered this, to my face, I should say. He looked at me and said, Reigh of Z. He's like, that's very presumptuous, of yourself. And I was like, whoa, buddy. I was like, I did not name the band.
Wow.
I said, I just want to get that, straight. I did not name this band. So, he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, I promise you, I did not name the band. Like, if people have followed us and watched enough interviews, I get very uncomfortable being the focal point. Like, that's why I like being in the band, because I like incorporating everybody, because everybody has such a valid part to the project. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
it was kind of a weird thing to kind of have something named after myself, and it's still to this day kind of strange.
So let's actually name the other folks in the band, so
Sure.
we don't want to leave them out. Who else do we have in the
No.
band?
Go ahead, Berg.
On drums, we have Eric Forder and Grayson Prince on guitar right now,
Engage.
and our tour manager / merch guy / photographer Gage
/ life coach / TikToker.
Yeah.
The jack of all trades.
He's awesome. I love him. I just adore him. He's like our honorary 5th member.
See, now I was gonna say most of those guys, they kind of stay in the background, never get a mention. See, he's got the spotlight on him now. That's perfect.
Give credit where credit's due whenever it comes to work.
Absolutely. Like it's so many behind the scenes people don't get enough love and recognition. Honestly, without them, I would think any band, wouldn't be able to get the show done. But like I love Gage too, because Gage does not like our genre of music. And like it makes me want to like love him even more.
Well, that's dedication. Now that just shows you dedication right there. That's perfect.
I know.
So let's talk about this single it's about to hit the streets September 16th.
It's Friday.
Cellophane, it's called, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this song.
So Cellophane, believe it or not, was a really hard song for me to co-write with Steve, because I don't know if Berg wants to chime in on this or not, but when we started to like level up, or however, I don't even think we are where I would like us to be, but we started losing a lot of friends, and a lot of online bullying started happening, and Cellophane's kind of a replica of that experience, because one of the lines is cellophane can't suffocate me now, because cellophane's very, kind of fragile in a way compared to obviously other materials. But I wanted to write something just dealing with all this pain of like losing all of these people in my life that were a constant, just because you're just trying to, just do what you love. And unfortunately, not everybody can come with you on your journey.
So let's talk about now after this single, do you guys have like a full length coming out, or another EP, or?
Berg, that's all you.
For now, we're just focusing on singles. Maybe maybe at the end of the year, next year, or maybe halfway through, package it together like a Game of the Year edition. But just focus on singles. I mean, we have 2-3 others in the works right now, and it's just all about just getting them finished and getting them out there. We poured a lot of love into Cellophane, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
I think that once the whole internet thing happened, obviously it changed the music industry, but it was always like single album tour, single album tour, single album tour. But now I think the preferred way to do it is to put singles out, just keep putting singles out, and then like you said, packaging them up and putting them into a collection. Yeah. I think that's the way a lot of people are doing now. And it's, for the technology, it's a smart way to do it for sure. So let's talk about when you guys write, let's talk about your writing process for a minute. When you guys write your songs, like how does that whole process work? How does it go from like an idea to a finished song? How do you guys do that?
I mean, it usually starts with about 20, 30, 40 riffs, throw them back and forth, piecing it together, and working with your producers to come up with the best song possible. It's like you could write 30, 40 things and use one.
Now, who does what? Do you guys write the riffs and then kind of hand them off to Z, and she puts her spin on the lyrics and all that stuff?
I mean, Z writes every single day. She writes lyrics. I mean, she has a book. She's constantly writing and keeping up on just putting it down, getting it out. And once that comes, once we have something, either that or she'll write to the song.
So now you guys have a tour coming up. It's soon. It starts on the 21st in Carborough, North Carolina. Everybody watching, check your local venue for the availability or go to reignofz.com for more dates. Tell us about the tour. How'd the tour come about, and what can people expect to see while you guys are out there?
That was me.
You're tour, always the back end of everything.
So. The tour itself came about because, Pennsylvania is a very large state, and Modern Mimes were playing a show in Mechanicsburg, which from where we're at is about 4.5 hours. And they're like, Reigh Of Z's from PA, put him on this show. Yeah, let's do a show. So the promoter out in Mechanicsburg, where we're doing I think it's like third or fourth stop, put us on there. Then next thing you know, we're talking about just doing an entire run together. And it just really just fell together, and we're just like, let's go kill this. We're coming out. We got a solid lineup. It's going to be a great tour. I'm looking forward to, hanging out with Ernesto and just being grumpy men. Everything should be a great run. I'm looking forward to finishing the year off with it, and getting ready for 2023.
Now, do you guys have chocolate at the merch table?
I get asked that all the time. It's like it's something that would never keep. You know what I mean?
Right. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, load this into the trailer. You get stuck in traffic on like an 80-degree day. Next thing you know, you got a puddle bags of chocolate sitting in your trailer. Yeah. Unless I could have like a refrigeration unit, I don't think that would ever happen.
Listen, I would. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we have in the past like sent chocolate to like our supporters, like people have purchased, or we've done mystery boxes. Like sometimes we were allowed to put a little piece of his chocolate in there. So like there are perks if you order on our .com. I'm not saying we can always make it happen, but we will sometimes, send our people chocolate.
Hint, go buy the merch.
You get sweets. No.
So we talked about the single, we talked about the tour, and some of the history of the band. What's next for you guys? What are we doing after the tour?
Well, I would say I go into surgery. I have surgery in November, so that's going to put me out the rest of the year. And then honestly, after that, it's going to be the holidays, and we don't really like to travel during like Thanksgiving and Christmas unless it's like something, earth shattering, like if we were opening up for somebody awesome, or if there was something we couldn't pass up. But next year, we're just in the process, I think, of figuring out who we're going to be going out with. Berg, tell me if am I doing this all correct? Because he knows more of the back end stuff than I do. So I don't want to be saying the wrong thing.
You're doing well, dear.
Okay, thank you. And just prepping for tours next year and seeing who we're going to be paired up with next year. We definitely have some feelers out there, and hopefully they can manifest. And getting singles done.
Okay, so I got a couple more questions for you guys, and these are going to kind of put you on the spot. So
sure.
The first one I will let you guys kind of collaborate on. So if you guys could pick two bands to tour with off the top of your head, who would they be? Like if you guys were putting together a tour for 2023, you can pick any two bands you want. Who would they be?
Berg.
No, I know your answers.
In This Moment, and Evanescence.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Nice. What about you, Berg? You got a different lineup?
I mean,
yes, he does.
I like Beartooth. I'd go out with Beartooth. As she likes to call it, Brotooth.
I do like to call it Brotooth. I say it with love, though.
And obviously, I mean, that's a tough call to pick out of every single band that's touring, but I'd have to check their schedules and get back to you on that one for that second one. But
Okay, they'll change their schedule for you guys. How's that?
Wow.
no, I mean to go out with Beartooth or heck, Day to Remember, something like that.
Solid choices. Okay. The next question is, and I'm going to do individually for both you guys. You guys are going on this tour now. You only get to take 3 albums with you. Z, which 3 albums would they be?
Probably, I would say A Day to Remember's latest album, not their single, their latest album. And of course, you're asking me, and I can't remember it for the life of me. And then I would probably also take the new I Prevail album, and probably the new Eva Under Fire album. I would take out. As much as the bands I listed I'd like to go out on tour with, I listen to them so much that I have to like step away from it. I don't know if that makes any sense because I listen to it so much. So I like to switch it up.
All right, Berg.
Well,
you only get 3.
Only get 3. Well, considering I do quite a bit of driving, and driving music wise, I'd probably take Eagles' Hell Freezes Over because it's just a great one to drive to.
Mm-hmm.
Journey's Greatest Hits, because who doesn't like to sing along to Journey, especially in the wrong pitch while you're driving down the road. And the third one, I would probably my mind just blanked on me. I do apologize, Fuzz. But I'd have to throw something heavy in there, and what the heck? Sorry, I totally blanked.
That's quite all right. Not
but
a problem.
probably something of the veins of Poison the Well.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, do you guys have anything else you guys want to tell all the degenerates out there before we wrap this up? That's my audience. They love it. It's a term of endearment for them. So
I love it. Yeah, I would just say, like, if you guys enjoyed the interview and want to come out and meet us, please check the tour schedule. And like I said, Cellophane drops on Friday. We're a very like hands-on band.
At noon.
What?
Friday
at noon on Friday. See, this is why I need you. This is important because I didn't know. So
never mind, love. Ugh.
I just work here. But no, but please come out and say hi to us. And I can't stress enough to any band that Fuzz interviews. Please just buy their merchandise, and that's what keeps bands alive nowadays. Most independent bands, I should say.
Speaking of your merchandise, I saw you guys have cool booty shorts.
Yep.
And the studio is decorated with I have there's stripper thong right there, but there's girls started sending me their underwear for some reason. Well, we kind of started as a joke and it just kind of blossomed from there. So I might need to talk to you guys about signing a pair of Du Bois shirts for me. That'd be pretty sweet.
Okay.
I'd love that.
What about you, Berg? Do you have anything to say before we wrap it up?
I mean, for everything, check out reignofz.com, Facebook, Reigh of Z, Instagram, Reigh of Z Official. We're working on the TikTok because funny videos gets people's attentions. And, if you're feeling a little frisky and want to come out, then, hit up a live show. Hey, funny story, Fuzz.
Go for it.
Every show I make Zoe, boob tape, for no slippages. Well, we used to sell that on the merch table and because one night we were in Wisconsin and she came out of the restroom, threw the tape in the trash, and a drunk guy walked over and sniffed it and put it in his pocket. And I was like, yeah, that guy's going to have a good night. And then my inner business sense was like, hey, let's sell this.
So you sell the used boob tape at the merch tables?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
my life is
outstanding.
My life is so weird.
Berg, I think you're an evil genius, bro.
Don't give me too much credit. Nobody really does. It's fine.
No, I'm going to. That's absolutely
that's not
outstanding, Berg.
true.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That just kind of made my day. That's all. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys can catch Reigh of Z on tour starting September 21st. Check your local venues for tour dates. You can get the new single out September 16th on God Size Records. Is that correct?
No, it's fully independent.
Fully independent. Okay, gotcha. So it's a fully independent records. You guys can go to more information, reignofz.bandcamp.com, facebook.com/reignofz. Instagram is at reignofzofficial. Twitter is at reignofz. And of course, reignofz.com. You'll find all the links, the bios, some of the music, the merch, et cetera, et cetera. So go there, support the band because these guys are freaking awesome. And you got to go out to the live shows to get the boob tape. It's not online. It's exclusively at the live shows. So you got to
live shows.
Now can people pick certain tour dates? Like, hey, can you give me the boob tape from Ottumwa, Iowa?
We haven't got that question yet, but I mean, I guess if somebody like slid into the Reigh Of Z DMs, like, I guess we could make it happen.
You guys,
we'll have to go through the archives and find
Yeah.
dates on these things.
you can request your own venue personalized boob tape. That's great. Listen, guys, I could be silly with you guys all day. You guys are a lot of fun. I appreciate you taking your time out to come and hang with us today. And we look forward to seeing you on the road. Look forward to the new single coming out and look forward to much more awesome stuff. You guys are definitely amazing musicians, and I can't wait to hear more from you. So, Berg, Z, Reigh of Z, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and
Thank you.
we'll see you out there soon.
Thanks for taking an
Thank you.
interest, and you have a good one. Okay.
You too, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
Reigh of Z,
You too.
everybody.